And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Coaster Park, or Coaster Park. This is the game about roller coasters. I'm in. Really, when I first heard about this and saw that you actually roll marbles down roller coaster tracks, I was really excited. This is one of my most anticipated games of Essen 2017. When I went by, it sold out very quickly there. It has roller coasters that you're going to be putting together and making these and then rolling a marble down them. Some really neat concepts. Let's take a look and see if the game's as fun as it sounds. At the beginning of the game, each player gets a marble. This is your car to ride on your roller coaster. You're also going to get some money. So there's a lot of money included in the game. Each player is going to start with money, and that's all the money you have for the entire game. So you have $24. I don't know if it's 24 million or something. You're going to put some cards in the middle here. We have some launch hills, and we have some regular hills for roller coasters. There's a global bonus that will affect everyone at the end of the game, and each player is also going to get dealt a bonus. This is a bonus for only you. So like here, I get 1 point for every wooden hill with wood supports in your coaster. So at the end of the game, every wooden one I'm going to get a point for. So how does the game work? On a player's turn, they have two different options that they can do. They can either hire an expert or propose a sale. When you hire an expert, you're just going to take one of these cards here and put it, you're going to pay 2 coins to the bank, and then you basically have a special ability. That's why the 2 coins is here. The rest of this, these don't matter. The only reason that these hills matter is at the beginning of the game, when I put these initial 5 cards out, you're also going to put these hills out like this. These are all the hills that are included. There's 2 pieces for each one because that's what you need to do it, and you'll place those out in the middle of the table. When I hire an expert, though, I'm just basically going to have a special ability. Some of them are one-time use, and when you use them, you'll flip them over. Like this one, remove a hill from the end of one of your coasters. Sometimes they're permanent, like this one here, pay 1 less when buying a hill. And this one you just keep in front of you. So you can pay 2 and do that. The other thing you can do is you can pick one of the hills in the middle of the table and put it up for auction or name a price for it. If you don't like any of the hills, you can turn over the top card here, which is going to make these cards cycle, by the way. And that's the one that's up for sale. So this one here is H. Now, all these hills are in the box, and they're all different sizes and things, but they all have a letter on them so you can keep track of them. They also have a certain number of points on them, flags, and some of them have special abilities. When I put a hill up, I can name a price. So maybe I'll say 4. And then the person next to me, to my left, they can pass, or they can pay for and buy this hill, or they can pay $1 and test their own roller coasters. You'll do that later, and I'll talk about testing roller coasters. If nobody pays for, it will come back to me, and then I have to pay for it to the bank, and it's mine. If someone does pay for, I get the money, or I can pick one of these special experts and roller coaster, one of these people, these experts in the middle. I can take that instead. You can even say 0, I guess, and if someone does buy the hill for 0, you get an expert for free, essentially. When you get a hill, you have 2 things you can do. You can put it in storage, although you can only have 1 hill in storage, or you can build it. When you build it, you'll take these pieces like this. Let me show you real quickly here. And you're going to put the hill together, and it's going to be in front of you. Now, it's a little wobbly, but that's because they made these so that they're going to fit 2. So the next hill, maybe I'll buy this one next. This one's going to go onto that same thing like that. And putting it here. Now, this is the hill for the roller coaster. As time goes by, I'm going to be eventually trying to roll a marble down this hill. Of course, I need to put this in the right spot. There we go. Now, you're not allowed to test it out unless you do a test itself. And you're also allowed to take one of these supports and put it here at the top, just kind of to hold this in place. So let's see if this marble works. No, not really. That hill is too big, but you are allowed to push it some. So I can, oh man. Whenever you test your roller coaster, you get 3 attempts. So let's do this. Come on, this is the attempt. This is the one that's going to work. Nope. Now, what you're trying to do as you make these roller coasters is you are trying to get points. And each part that it goes over, so there it only went down to launch hill, so that's worth 4 points. If it had gone over this one, I would have got an additional 5 points. That one's worth a lot more. And there's all sorts of hills. Here we have a plateau hill, and this one is 2 points plus 1 point for each hill that's after this. We have a bump where if the marble lands right here in the middle, you get an extra point. We have a jump where the marble is literally going to jump. And then we have different color giant hills. We have this little bump here, which I have yet to see a marble really go well over. And there's even a loop, although the loop is a real pain to put together. It's optional in the rules, and the publishers told me because it's such a pain that you won't see it in future games after the first print run. So you're going to put these roller coasters together. You're allowed to have more than one roller coaster. And players are just going to keep doing this until one player has gotten 7 hills. That triggers the end of the game, or when we run out of the cards in these decks, as you're placing these out here. At that point, everybody will test all the roller coasters. You get 3 chances for each roller coaster, and the farther the marble goes, the more points you will get, and after that, whoever has the most points is the winner. Remembering the global bonus, where you get 1 point for every $3 you have, and points for your own personal goal that you have. Most points is the winner of the game. All right, here we go. Let's try this marble. Fell off. Attempt 2. Come on, you can do this. You can do this, marble. Made it over 2, though. So 3 tries, and that would be my best attempt so far. Come on, marble. Keeps falling off in that one spot. You can do it. All right, well, I made it over 2, and so that would get me 9 points. Still looks pretty cool, though, doesn't it? Okay, so this game, the components are really good. I mean, this is a crane. I mean, look at this thing. This here is solely in the game as a first player marker, or to see whose turn it is. That's it. It doesn't launch a marble, nothing. The game comes with way more coins, way more supports than you will ever need. And there's a big variety of hills and things. It all looks good. They look like roller coasters. The marbles are good quality. The cards. Pandasaurus is just really excellent with quality these days. This cover is a great cover. The whole thing looks good. But looking good is only part of it. We need to see, is the game itself fun? And here's what my opinion on it. Yes-ish. It's not amazing. And there's a couple reasons that the game isn't amazing. First of all, I know I built my hype up for this game to some nth degree. But the fun of the game is about rolling those marbles down the hills and seeing if you succeed. And unless you pay money to test during the game, which is expensive because you have a very limited amount of money, you're only going to do that at the end of the game. Now, the game is short and all, but that is kind of the whole point of the game comes down to you rolling those marbles and getting points. The rest of the game is okay, right? Naming a price and having it go around the table and pick someone else for that is not, in my opinion, a good way to do these kind of auctions. Because it's just, first of all, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm going to build that hill. I'll buy it. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to build this hill. I'll take that one. Oh, I wanted to build one. So I feel like that could be, I just almost would have preferred there been a straight auction or something. Because when you put something up and you say this is 5, and then the person after you buys it, you're like, well, am I ever going to get one? So the person who's in front of you, instead of buying one, they just take one of those experts. So they don't even put one up. And so that can be a little bit frustrating sometimes that you're not getting the hills that you want, or you're trying to figure out how to price it. I did not like that much. Now, the rolling the marbles things does elevate it above that. It is cool. What you are buying here is actual physics, right? You are trying to buy hills that work together. I wish they worked together a little bit better. I would say a good 50% of the hills you're going to build do not work. And the loop, like I said, real hard to put that loop together. And them removing it, the loop doubles the points of the roller coaster. But wow, that's like the hardest little cardboard contraption I ever tried to put together. But despite all that, I think the game is entertaining. I like the experts. They give you special abilities. I like the roller coaster part. And I know I'm going to keep harping on that because that's really what the game is about. If you're looking for a deep auction game, it's not here. If you're looking for a light auction game, it's barely there. It feels a little clunky, that part, but then The rolling the marble part outshines that. Unfortunately, because the game itself is just okay, and the rolling the marbles down is amazing, of course, it makes the game good. It's a game I would play. It's not a game I would consider to be great by any means. And, it is what it is. But still, it's a really cool idea, and I really like it. I like rolling those marbles down. I've always been a fan of marble ramps my whole life. Here, having a game built around it is fantastic. It definitely could have been better, but as it is, I think a lot of people will still enjoy it. Dice Tower Judgment, approved!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.